OverDrive episode 5. Here we are.
Yeah, already. Yeah.
Slightly different from the last couple of episodes. We're actually on the move while recording the links.
Yeah, I thought we'd have a go at doing the links while in motion this time. Seems we're all about cars.
Yeah. And this time is a little bit different to the previous times. We're not doing supercars or big expensive luxury cars. We're literally looking at cars you can pick up for around £500 or less.
Yeah, we've all overspent, overeaten, overdrank through Christmas, and we've hit January where most people probably facing bits of debt, not got lots of money, may need a car very quick. What do they do? So we've decided to look at some fairly reasonable, cheap used cars just to find out what's suitable for the prices, and we've got a few to look at, haven't we?
Yeah. I mean, you get the usual ones like the Nissan Micra and things like that. It's nice, small, cheap to run, and quite reliable.
Yeah.
But sometimes you want something a little bit bigger, a little bit different.
More space, basically, for a lot of things that you need, yeah.
And you'd be quite surprised what you can actually pick up for around £500 these days.
So that was a sort of target, wasn't it? A sort of price range like that. And I think we did alright with some of these that we found, didn't we?
So, first up, we have the Rover 75 and the Mark II Mondeo. And we're going to see the first part of this, we're going to see is the comparisons at the beginning, we'll see the test drives later on in the show.
Yeah. Some little surprises out of this video, as you'll see later on. Two very different, very close together cars, but also in the quality as well, and in little issues, worlds apart, I'd say, as you'll see.
Two cars here which are quite similar in size, but totally different in performance. We have the Rover 75, and we also have a Ford Mondeo LX. But first, the Rover.
Right, so here we are in, let's say, the Rover 75.
Yeah.
A car which, a long time ago, when I was collecting my ZR, my dad was having a good look at and wanted one.
Yeah.
Looking at this interior, I can see why, because I find it all really plush and posh without being, let's say, overboard.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the retro look of the dials, and you've got all the, admittedly in this later one, wood finish, but it's actually plastic in this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can't deny the fact that it is made of a plastic, but then again, there's a lot of other and top-end cars that do the same way.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not as if they've done it for a cheap way, it's just a practical way.
Well, actually, they did it to sort of cut costs, because at the time they'd just been bought out, they'd just bought themselves out from BMW.
Well, yes, there was that crossover, wasn't there, where finances wasn't in the red, let's say, and they did what they did, but I think they still pulled off the sort of look that they wanted to achieve.
Yeah, they did. I mean, but if you go for the older 75s, they do actually have genuine wood interior.
Yeah.
And just to point out as well, if anyone buys one of the later ones which have the plastic wood trim and you want to get the actual wood trim, make sure you get them all from the same car, because they were all cut from the same tree and the same piece of wood.
That's
so
a
they
good
match.
tip, yeah, right.
So because you've got 3 sections here.
Right.
Also the valance at the top of the console and the bits below as well, they all matched as well.
Yeah.
And the wood gear knob. There used to be a wood gear knob.
Oh, yeah.
Wood.
You think they would have that, wouldn't you? Van ton wood, but yeah, you think they would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that all sort of started to go out when cost cutting came in.
Right. I can see that. There is certain nods back to the older Rovers, what they've used in ways. You can see that.
Yeah, the styling at the front is still reminiscent of the original 75 in the P5s.
Yeah.
Obviously shorter because the P5s are quite a tall grille. But yeah, it's got those nods back to the old traditional one.
Yeah, I mean, I think also as a driver's car, and to use every button and everything that's close at hand, I think everything's well laid out with this. The fact that display, the dials and everything are on white with the numbers. I think really shows up well. It does. I like how it is all laid out. I really do. It's it gives you that feeling of how can I put it? British, but a sort of posh British, but not without going too extravagant and over the top. You don't feel like you're sat in something like Fab 1 or something like that, but it's got the nice touches. So it is a nice friendly cabin to be in when you're driving.
It is comfortable.
Yeah, I do feel for what they had to do at the time, it is fairly well put together. I mean, I can't really fault it. The seats, even the back seats, are so well sculptured that you could basically just fall asleep on them.
Oh, you do.
The armrest that obviously pulls out in the middle looks a fair size.
But you've also got a cup holder.
Yeah, and a lot of cars have maybe this sort of type of nature that wouldn't probably have things like that. You've even got a control here for a vent system for the back. Yep. Which a lot of cars even nowadays are doing now. They're not doing it at all still yet. So
glove box. Well, it's sort of a cubbyhole area.
It's reasonable. Yeah. But when you think you've got a lot of storage space dotted around you, it's for the driver and passenger.
You can sort of see the old, when it was designed, you've still got bits for the sets.
Yeah, they're obviously going to use some parts maybe to save cost out of the older parts, but who doesn't when they're making the other cars? But I even like this fact of where the glove compartment is, directly above it. Going on with the fact of chrome, you don't see a massive amount of chrome in here, but what you do see is enough for your money. Little things like on the gear stick and the handbrake, you've just got the little bits. But I like how the handles have them, and also by the door grips to get in and out of have them, but also
it has it, but it's not over. It's not.
Yeah, it's not over. It sort of blends with everything else. Little touches on the doors where it's just got where the stalks are for the locks. It's just the little things. Yeah. And it's not overboard. Well, where this is concerned, I'm not sure what sort of trim levels you get, but can you obviously get these with a darker colour?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
I mean, this is my own personal view, but I prefer this with the lighter colour. Yeah. Yes, it's going to show odd marks, and it depends how you keep up to cars of whatever age, but I think it goes well and makes it feel a much more comfortable, lighter cabin. With it being like this, I think there could be a chance with this that it could end up too dark. Yeah. And a bit gloomy, so I think like this is my personal preference, but I think like this is the one I would have like this. And I'd be happy with this all day long like this. I think it's a very well laid out car. Even though this one is one where Project Drive had kicked in and there was cost-cutting here and there, it hadn't affected the overall quality. No, it didn't. No, not at the end of the day, it didn't. And they did sell a lot of these. You still see a lot of these about. Yeah. You really do, and I'm not surprised because they're good running cars. Yeah. They are. They are fantastic cars. So, as to with the interior, I think tons of headroom. As to the interior, I think we're sort of covered there, aren't we? We haven't got any massive niggles against this interior. It doesn't bore us, it doesn't make us feel dreary. It's not over glitzy. And we'll see later on when we're driving how comfortable it can be. We will, yeah. It will be on the roads, and we'll just see what it's capable of. To the Mondeo. Right, I think we'll pop into Mondeo and take a look at, let's say, a completely different interior now. Yeah. But not much difference in age, so we'll just see how these compare. The Mondeo. Here we are in the Retmobile of the time, the Mondeo. Yeah, I had one of these as a company car. There you go, you see. And I was a consultant at the time. And I'd had a Mondeo Z-Tech. The Z-Tech, yeah, very popular one, wasn't it? And the problem was it was 2003, because it was when my eldest daughter was born. Right. And it started having this habit of popping the passenger side door open. Frightening. I mean, it'd catch, you open it and you... Yes, so it'd just open the jar and it won't go no further, yeah. But, when you're overtaking a lorry on the M1... That is a bit... Oof. And it suddenly goes... Whoa! Especially for the passenger. Yeah, again, straight away as interiors go, as you know, I'm a big Ford man, and I've had plenty of Fords in my past from models this age upwards, and I am seeing that bit of especially when I got out of the Rover, a very gloomy, darker place. Yeah. Practical and usable and well made, but I've just noticed how dark we've suddenly become. Yeah, I mean, you do have the contrasting luckily, yeah, I mean, yeah, we've got the little touches, and this is one thing I liked of the Mondeo this age. I used to love that clock, the oval clock.
Yeah.
I used to think what a good touch, and after a while, obviously, they changed it as the models updated. But funnily enough, and worryingly enough, I've just seen some odd things that are in the EcoSport. There's a toggle switch for your mirrors on the driver's side, which is still the same button that's in the 17-plate EcoSport, which I've seen.
Yeah.
And the odd little things that I'm seeing that they're thinking, oh, the guy's still using
The
that.
soft touch buttons, are they the same?
They're not the same, no. One thing I saw which I had in my other Mark II STs, volume controls and everything for the steering, which are on here, they're the same as what was in the ST.
Right.
They were very much the same. One thing that I think was fairly unique to the Mondeo was everything about the gear stick.
Yeah, they did seem to keep that to that range and not actually transfer.
You never saw it in any other car. Obviously the handles, I saw in my older STs, these handles, but I actually thought these were good. Because if you wanted to lock yourself in, you press of a button and press it inside, and you locked yourself in. I thought it was alright, that. For a big car, we were saying Mondeo's a fairly big car, even the older ones. I do find these mirrors are very small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in smaller cars where I thought the mirrors have actually been too big, and I thought they spoke the looks of the car on the outside where they're shaped and they look massive. But I think these have just shrunk in the wash sort of things. They do look very tiny. And because of the nature of the style of them, the way they're cut like that, I think it would have helped both the vision and also the styling if they were a fraction bigger.
Yeah.
I do. I think, you're never short on space with a Mondeo, but what I will point out is I would much rather be in the 75 for rear space. I'm getting the impression I'm in a much bigger car in the 75 than I do this. Yeah. Now, I don't think it's just a question of the colour that's making everything drawn in, because darker colours can do and lighter colours make it much nicer, bigger space. But no, I will stake a bit. I'd say the Rover 75 had a bit more legroom in the back, and the seats in the 75 were better. Much more sculptured and much more comfortable to sit on. They're more inviting.
These are a lot firmer.
These are firmer, and I get the impression the back ones are probably just the same. But I would say that it had more room. Yeah, you've plenty of leg room for the front, but for a car that's probably supposed to be in the same class
and about the same age. I mean, this came out just after the 70, about 2 years after the 75.
Yeah, you see, one thing that's niggling me, we're talking about a company, Ford, that made this car that probably had no worries financially. There were no major issues within the company. They were making what they made. Rover were going through everything they were going through, and you didn't know, things were up in the air, whatever was going to happen, but yet they were still capable of making that against this. So this is going back to what I said before. Can you imagine what they'd be churning out now if they were still going as a good company? And that's a worry, because you see they were up against people like Ford, and Ford were only just doing things like this. I do think Ford should have been trying much harder. And that's not just a dig at Ford, because I'm a Ford man, but I do think all the companies should have been trying harder when, let's say, the smaller ones like Rover and MG was churning good stuff out.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, with this one, I don't know about the dash. I prefer the 75 dash.
I do. And this brings us round to everything I've just said. I think they've played it safe but dull. Everything seems very hard and, let's say, flattened down. I mean, your steering wheel is so and all that, and everything, it all just sweeps over. It has got a design to it, fair enough, but I don't think it's a design that I'd always feel warm and comfortable with all the time on a long journey. I'd much rather be staring at the 75's interior than I would this on a long journey. I will just say a bit of a more dull interior, but I think I would just a bit overcome with the 75, how nice and bright and bold that was. I'd say a decent place to be on a long journey, but a bit more of a duller place than the 75. They certainly sold them, so they did something right. Right, okay, so that was the Rover 75 Ford Mondeo comparison. Threw up a few surprises there between us all, actually. You probably judge for yourself what you think of those two vehicles and which one you'd probably drive for them. Coming up now, something a bit bigger, I'd say, for your needs. Again, a budget sort of thing, used vehicle. We took a Vauxhall Safira out on the very cold winter moors. It suited January very well. We were really cold doing this, but it was worth it, as this vehicle threw up some surprises as well for us, didn't it?
Yeah, surprisingly, it was quite surprising in quite a few ways.
Yes, it was, and I've changed this video, making this Sophia video. As you'll see, this car sort of swayed me to having one myself. I'd quite easily pick one up if I could and have one myself easy. So as you see, you'll see it in the video what we think of the car. See what you make of it.
Today, we're going to have a look out here on the snowy moors
Very cold.
at the Vauxhall Zafira to see if it is actually any good for the money that you can pay for it these days. For a couple of £100, is it actually worth it?
We found this obviously an older model, but like I say, what you would pay for one of these now, is it still holding its own, let's say, and keeping up with the newer models and such? I believe it probably will.
Should do.
Yeah, and as we'll see in the video, we'll find that out. It's looking in good nick for its age and everything, so I'm expecting it to handle well and that, and have no major issues with it. So we'll see how it performs.
Let's see how we go. Vauxhall. So, what do you think of the Vauxhall Zafira?
Well, it's one of those cars you don't seem to think about much until you get in it.
Yeah.
And then you're a bit surprised. One thing I am surprised with is the space in this car.
Yeah. A lot of space, a lot of room.
You see them tootling about and they're a bit like a TARDIS car. Once you get in, they're what? Sort of thing. And yeah, the space is really good.
I like how nimble it is as well. For the size of car, it's incredibly nimble.
I can imagine you don't feel like you're in something that's high up and fairly big. So, yeah.
It behaves very similar to... not far off of the Ford Focus. In terms of going around corners. You don't get a huge amount of roll.
Certainly has a nice sound to it as well, and for its age, it's handling well, isn't it? Running. It's a
2003 model is this one. Yeah. So a little bit younger than the Rover, about the same age as the Mondeo we looked at.
Yeah.
And it works pretty well. If I was to have one of these, I'd probably go for the 1.6, just to get a little bit more fuel efficiency out of it, driving around town and things like that. But on long journeys and long runs like this, the economy is not bad. Let's see, let's just bob into this car park. I really like about it as well. It's surprisingly easy to park considering its size.
You've got a good view all around, haven't you?
Yeah. And this is something, in a vehicle like this, you wouldn't expect to get around this corner.
No. Yes, it's all typical Vauxhall, isn't it? It reminds me of a lot of the touches from an Iron My Corsa.
It's not bad. I mean, that's the thing. It's a 7-seater. I mean, you've got plenty of room to actually do what you need to do in it. If you put the two seats down in the back, then you've got a hell of a lot of luggage space.
Yeah.
It's incredibly practical. The only thing is, if 7 of you decide to go for a week away, then you either have to carry all your luggage on your lap or travel very light. So it's such a nice little vehicle. It's quite nimble to get around stuff like that bridge.
Yeah.
Aspect there. It does it so well.
And you don't even feel that you're high up. You sense it, but you don't. The way you're sat, you don't feel like you're high up and you're wallowing about. You don't even feel like you're in something that's got all these seats behind you and everything. Yeah, I am surprised how quiet it sounds.
Yeah. And it's a bit louder than your average family car. But it's not overly bad. It's travelling not quite motorway speeds.
Yeah.
You were doing 50. Between 50 and 60.
But it pulls away nicely as well for them. 1.8, isn't it?
Yeah, 1.8 in such a big, heavy vehicle. It's got a regular 5-speed gearbox, plenty of places to hide away your change and your luggage and stuff like that.
You're really not short of them, are you?
Yeah. And the other thing is, well, the back seats move forward and back as well.
Oh right, so they go like that.
Yeah. So you can slide them forward to give the people right in the back room to get in and out. And in the diesel one that we had, the center console came down on its own.
Right.
So you could have that as a come down entirely with an armrest. And this is just a straight 2-1 split. But the other one you could actually split it into individual sides then. I mean, okay, this isn't exactly the best plastics around. It's similar sorts of things we had in the Astra at the time.
It is.
But they've put some effort into sculpting it.
Oh, they are. It's a nice cabin to be sat in. Do you know what? I could actually have one of these even if I wasn't throwing lots of things, or having to put the whole family in. Because there's always that time in an emergency you might have to use it for some reason like that, and you think, well, I've got it.
Yeah.
But also, even if you're still driving it around yourself, it's still a damn good drive.
Actually.
So, yeah. So I think it wins all ways round.
So, that was the Zafira. Quite a surprise, really, wasn't it?
I was very taken with this car once we had a go and had a look into it. Bit of a TARDIS car. It is fairly big on the outside, but it's very big on the inside, and it's very roomy and practical. It's everything you need for the money.
So yeah, for a couple of £100, if you need a car like that, where you might occasionally need 7 seats or a lot of load space, you can't really go wrong. And for a 1.8 engine in such a big vehicle, it's not bad on fuel either.
It's everything you need for the money. You just can't argue with it. It's just right for chucking bags in and kids and all. It's a workhorse, and this one's still going strong. You'll find a lot like this at this price, this sort of age, and they serve you well.
Yeah,
Couldn't fault it.
that's Vauxhall Zafira.
That is a Zafira, all nicely done, and gets my approval.
And mine.
Yeah, driving it all day long, this and love it.
Back to some warmth.
Yeah, please.
That was the Vauxhall Zafira. Quite surprising, actually, and quite adaptable. It actually coped with the snow quite well when we were actually in the car parks.
It did. I can't really fault that car. On that day, it never let us down. So for the sort of age and price range you pay for that car, you can't fault it.
That one was a 1.8. You can get them in 1.6s as well.
Yeah.
Just to note, the Zafira B, which is very similar in looks, that was the one that had the fault with the heater system that could catch fire. So if you've got a Zafira B, that you can tell the Zafira B because the front's slightly different, but also there's the silver line at the back. Remember, like the
I do
Astra
remember that.
had?
Yes, I do.
So if you've got one with the silver line at the back from 2005 onwards, and it's got air conditioning in, make sure you get it checked at your dealership, because there's a risk that
really something to really think about and look at. If you get it sorted, it really shouldn't be an issue, but don't ignore it. That's it. Yeah.
But next up, we have the Rover 75 and the Mondeo test drives, where we actually took them out for a quick run. Right, quick test drive to see how comfortable it is.
Yeah, let's see what this Mondeo can make of itself.
Right. So, it's a long time since I've driven one of these.
Wonder if we'll be pleasantly surprised.
Now, there's two things about cars. Comfort, with comfort especially. Because just because you're comfortable in the front does not mean you're going to be comfortable in the back.
No, that's not always the case, is it?
So, carefully out. Anything coming?
No, you're okay. I find with the Mondeo, considering it's supposed to be a bigger car, the ride is okay.
Yeah.
It's fairly sturdy, but not too hard. Because some bigger cars can have a very hard ride.
They can, and they can be a bit difficult to manoeuvre as well.
Yeah, the way I can sort of base this with my new Mondeo, which really you're talking a hell of a lot of different car.
I found that with this, it didn't feel that much different to the Focus at the time. The Focus was a much smaller car.
On roads like this, I imagine it's handling fairly well actually as it goes, but there's no roll with it or anything that I can tell.
No, it does handle corners pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially for what you'd say is either a large family or a executive car. There's not much that you can say is wrong with it.
No.
Actually, the front window, you missed.
Yeah.
which came standard by this.
Yeah, and this is a little thing. Some of the equipment this has on this car, what Ford were doing, on some of the cars, they haven't got.
Yeah.
Well, it is a repmobile, isn't it? One of their executive sort of model things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it had to be, let's say, fairly well equipped, which it is. I still state it's a bit duller than some, but it's got the equipment. It's the sort of, it's got everything you need.
Yeah.
Let's say. No, like I say, on roads like this, which are a bit harsh and that, these roads, it is handling fairly well. I mean, we're talking, this is obviously an older Mondeo, but it still feels very tight. There's not a lot of rattling noises or anything. So.
There's not a lot of roll in it as well. The body does feel quite firm. There's a lot of strength in there. So you don't get the flexing that you do in some cars, especially this side.
Yeah.
You start turning corners quite aggressively.
I mean, for all this build quality, plastics are very hard and harsh and a bit dull. It's fairly well nailed together. Yeah. It's still feeling as tough and as strong as last time.
Yeah.
When it was first made.
Now here's something I need to do.
Well, first impressions of getting into the back, these seats, you seem to just sink down a lot. They're not as supportive as your passenger and driver seat. You seem to go straight down all of a sudden when you get in. Legroom's fine.
Yeah.
But I'd still claim the Rover looks to have more. I think for your average journey, it wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
But I think on a long journey, you might get a bit stalled being on these really soft, and they do feel soft, back seats.
Okay.
I'm so surprised how I've come from the front, which was a nice comfy seat, and supportive, to suddenly be sunk in the back, not seated, I'm being sunk in the back. Now that's all well and good if there was more sculpture and you had a bit more legroom that you could basically just relax and even fall asleep. I do feel like I'm sort of really being jiggled about, which is a shame. I think these should have been a bit more supportive in the back. Well, there's plenty of headroom.
Well,
No, is there an armrest? There isn't, is there?
no.
No, that's a unfortunate
Now,
one.
we're about to go over a bump.
No, this will be a test in itself.
How did that feel?
Yes, it's when you jolt back down, you sort of get planted back in the seat. That is queer, that. It's like being in a different car.
Okay. So in effect, it's like a completely different vehicle from front to back.
From the rear passenger's point of view, it's not as nice a ride. It certainly isn't. I'm surprised at them back seats. Really am.
Well, let's see how the Rover fares.
So we'll see how the Rover compares, but I've got a feeling we'll be surprised about the next car.
75.
Yeah. Bit of a contrast, isn't it?
Well, considering they're about the same time and aim for the same market.
Yeah, this is the thing, and what a difference. It's hard to believe that we've just left a Mondeo behind and we're now in this, but you sort of feel different straight away being in this.
It's one of those, the Mondeo felt firmer.
It did, yeah. I'd actually say everything felt firmer, not just the ride, but even everything it was made out of was all hard and harsh. Everything feels more luxurious and softer and more livable with this. I mean, it does. The ride, I'd say it's slightly softer than what the Mondeo is with it.
Well, that's what BMW wanted. They wanted that, what they saw as the British quality to the Rover brand. And that was how they perceived it. So it is a more softer ride.
Yeah, you can certainly tell the difference from this and the Mondeo straight on this road. You can certainly feel it straight away. But it takes that well. Yeah, I mean, it just feels, considering they are the same sort of age, it just feels a much nicer environment to be in. All the display lit up and everything feels more softer and warmer, and especially on a day like this.
Yeah, it's cold and miserable outside.
You just feel that to climb in this, if you've been out walking or whatever as such, and you're cold and that, you're into this, it's much more friendly and environment. It doesn't feel dull or drab. And it makes your journey a lot better.
That's the thing. I mean, this does have different options for the interior. You can get darker. But the Mondeos were all the same.
They're very mundane, weren't they? The same, yeah.
Which kind of gave it the nickname at the time, the Mundane.
The Mondeo. But yeah, I will still argue that I feel there's going to be a lot more room in this, all round, in the back and everything. It just seems more of a limousine type car than what the Mondeo does. The Mondeo just seems more of a wreckmobile. Fair shift as well. It's got that grunt, hasn't it?
Yeah. This one is the BMW diesel engine.
Yeah.
And it's still at its original power of 116 brake horsepower. So it was the least powerful of all the 75s.
Yeah.
But it was also the heaviest.
Right. So
a double disadvantage for the car. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's achieved something in its own, hasn't it? It's fairly heavy, but yet can still move.
But you can actually get this in the 135 brake horsepower version.
Right.
This was the CDTI.
Yeah, I think I remember.
And do you know what the difference between the CDT and the CDTI is?
I have no idea there's a difference.
There isn't. It is literally just the...
A badge name, is it?
No, it is literally the ECU, the settings in the ECU.
Oh, right.
So you could very easily retune this to 135 brake horsepower, and it'd still be within factory specification for Rover's models.
Right, that's strange, that.
And some people have even managed to bring these up to 160 brake horsepower.
Really?
And this is an engine from originally released in around 1996, 97.
That just shows, doesn't it?
It's also the only Rover officially released with fly-by-wire throttling.
Right. It is such a shame we ended up losing Rover and MG because they were trying so many things, weren't they? They were really making a good go, this car making malarkey, weren't they? And around the time when you think what we've just been in the Mondeo and that's all that Ford was providing, as what they saw on one of their flagship cars, but this is what Rover saw as one of theirs.
Yeah, and the thing with this is, again, I mentioned that the Mondeo felt pretty good in terms of the body strength and the flexibility.
No,
This actually exceeded it and was actually a far stronger body.
Right.
The whole thing is Rover engineered. Apart from, because Rover were coming and ahhing about designing the rear axle for it, BMW insisted that the Z axle went at the back. But in effect, the engineering of the car is all Rover, and the electronics are all BMW. So you had the best of both worlds.
It seemed to marry itself well, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it couldn't have gone any better, really, could it?
And because it uses BMW's cableless technology as well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that were available on BMWs after this went out of production that you can integrate into the system. So you still had options.
It just seems an all-round better package of the time than what the Mondeo did. As a comparison, for taking them on long journeys and
Now.
the back seat test.
Yeah, do the back seat test.
In full view of the camera, we must do the back seat test.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
This is where we'll find something else out now.
Yeah. Watch out for the child seat. Oh, and even stuff.
You see, as for terms of getting in and out, much the same as the Mondeo, but straight away I'm getting onto a more supportive back seat. I'm not sinking.
Okay.
I feel as comfortable, actually, this is really good, I feel as comfortable in this as I did in the front.
Alright,
I
so
feel like I really am held in place,
yeah.
as I should be. And there's tons of space. It's still a nice place to be, whether you're in the back or the front. You still feel just as nice.
Okay, the bump test.
And a bump test coming up. Oh, I'm nice and comfy at the moment, so nothing. Yes, I went with the bump, but I wasn't plunged deeper into the seat. I would certainly rather go a long distance, not even a short distance, in the back of this than I would the Mondeo.
Okay.
I'd feel after a bit of the Mondeo, I'd be feeling a bit of seasickness because I'm going up and down.
And what about the front seat as well? That seemed pretty good.
In this,
Yeah.
the front seat in this is just spot on.
Okay.
And it's like I said, climbing from the front seat of that into the back of this, you feel just as good in the back. Whereas the Mondeo, you felt alright in the front, you felt a bit supported and all that, and okay. But it was such a shock after getting out of that Mondeo seat and then getting in the back that you just sunk, that you don't sink in this, so you feel just as good in the back. You really do. Yeah, a much nicer place to be.
So, from our testing ground up on the misty moors today, we discover that the Rover 75 seems to be the more comfortable and better packaged car, which isn't bad for the money you pay for it these days.
So that was your comparison between the 75 and the Ford, as some people say, Mondeo and all that. It's each to their own with those two vehicles. Going in a total different direction, I'd say, is a little car which I dug up for your pleasure to see. When I turned up in it, you got a bit of a shock, didn't you?
Yeah, especially when you got out the driver's side.
When I got out the wrong side.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you'll see in the video, there's such shock, even by myself getting out. I don't want to spoil it, but...
Yeah, the Fiat Punto. A German Fiat Punto.
Yeah, that's had a little bit of a kick given to it. And it can move. So here comes a video of the left-hand drive Fiat Punto.
Enjoy. So, I've been left out here in a car park waiting for a car to turn up. This one's going to be a bit of a surprise. Yep, that was the car. I was quite surprised at it. I was not half as surprised as when it parked up and the occupants got out. Yes, it was a Fiat Punto. And yes, that is a foreign registration plate. And yes, that is a left-hand drive car. And yes, this tall guy does fit in it. For a small car, the Fiat Punto does actually have a lot going for it. It's available in 5 or 3-door versions and is quite spacious inside, considering its size. For a first-time buyer, it's generally quite easy to maintain and quite cheap to insure. Fuel economy is not bad either. There are plenty of spares available at reasonable prices, and generally it's not a bad car to maintain. Most people will be able to do it themselves, apart from obviously the really big jobs. But for most common jobs that fail on MOTs and things like that, a DIY motorist will be able to do them quite easily. The boot space isn't bad for the size of car, but what I particularly like is these connectors here. This is what provides the electricity for things like the rear lights that are still on the hatch, and is a lot more durable than what we have in most cars where we've got a cable that flips along with the hinge. No chance of wires fraying over time here. That's how you get in.
Right, where to?
Yeah. It is unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, see you in a bit.
Have fun.
Are you going to catch the filming?
Maybe.
Right. Last time I've driven a left-hand car was when I was in Portugal.
Right.
And I've now got to think with my right hand with changing.
Well, I thought this would be different.
A long time. Yeah, I actually now want to change gear with my left hand.
Yeah,
again.
well, I'm always wanting to steer when there's no ear.
Well, he's right about the clutch. It is a bit aggressive.
It feels it, doesn't it?
Right, straight away then, I was about to change gear with my left hand.
As for the ride, I suppose on road like this with a car like this, we can't really say that it's going to be a very nice ride because it's a fairly old car now. But
it's a fairly old car, but I also think that suspension may have been lowered and adjusted.
It has been. As the chaps pointed out, the clutch is a bit of aggressive as it said, and it seems so.
The gear shift doesn't feel too bad.
Does it feel okay, yeah?
Yeah, it feels. I mean, obviously I'm still getting used to it, but it feels quite sporty. I'm now wanting to change down gear with my left hand.
And I'm wanting to change gear, and I've got nothing here.
And you want to steer.
Trying my best to keep my hands stuck together, and that's preventing me from wanting to grab a steering wheel that's not there.
Yeah.
As such. But yeah, it's still odd because every time I feel like if I was driving it, I'd want to brake or anything. I'm doing it with my feet, even so.
Because you're sat in.
Because I'm sat in the original driver's seat for us, and
you know when it was driving past, I was praying it was an Irish registration plate. At least then it would still be a right-hand drive car.
Right, yeah.
And it's not. It's a German registration plate.
It's German
A
reg.
left-hand drive car.
Yep. It does feel odd, but I suppose if you're the person driving it, you will eventually get used to being in a left-hand drive car.
Yeah.
I think the main issue is more for the passenger who's going to feel a bit... Same as like if you're passing something and that passenger's now thrown to that side, that
Yeah.
they're the one that's up against something or anything like that.
And also, if I'm driving on the main road, you're the one facing the oncoming traffic.
Yeah, which is one thing. As Fiat Puntos go, there was very basic these Fiat Puntos of the norm anyway. They were always they were drivable and nice little runarounds. There was never anything to write home about the interior. They were very harsh grey plastics.
It was a utilitarian car.
It was, but yet they go to town on the cloth trim on doors and give it so many colours. It's like a woven piece of cloth.
Yeah.
Is this? Which I couldn't understand.
Stuff we used to make in mills.
Yeah, I've seen that pattern somewhere where I used to work in textiles on someone's silk. I'm sure I have that. It's even come quickly a sunroof, not bad art touch, not electric, which is probably a good thing at this age, so it won't fail on you. But it still seems a nice little tidy car as a runaround.
I like the display actually.
Yes, it seems to be a good touch, that. Not sure if that's an aftermarket thing or if that was actually like that. It's an aftermarket.
But it does match.
I suppose it matches what the lads done with the interior, with the seats and things, but this is a 1.6 engine which has been tuned. We won't delve into how much you probably tuned it, but it can move. Yeah, I suppose it's one of those typical Fiat drivers' cars where
It's loud.
it is loud. I noticed that in the beginning how loud it was. It's a lot louder than this if you really cane it. We're talking a 5-door in this out. Boot space these are never much to write home about, to be fair.
Oh, that's true of most small cars.
But most small ones weren't really about chucking a lot of things in the boot. But I know the seats are back a bit. There's plenty of leg room. It's not too bad in the back for the size of the car.
The silly thing is, I actually quite like it.
And now Malta's warming to it with the aggressive clutch and everything. And
I could probably do without the clutch.
yeah, I suppose any car's a bonus if it's got a nice easy clutch and it's somewhat easier to live with. But you'll end up just having a really powerful leg at the end of the day when you're doing it and all.
It's not actually a heavy clutch to push down.
Oh, so it's
very aggressive.
right. So when you find the biting point, instead of it being a normal one, you're really good. Saying that, it's very sparse in here. It is, but I suppose for the nature of the car, it's everything that you really need.
You don't necessarily need. I mean, the people that this was aimed at weren't the luxury car buyers.
No.
It was those who were getting the first cars. Or, the family cars who could do things every day with.
You see, I am surprised though. You've got your airbags and such with it, and then your electric windows.
I was surprised by the electric windows.
Yeah, and you got like stalks in for a minute. Fair enough, but these mirrors are bordering on the same sort of size as the Mondeos, and this is what I meant about the size of the mirrors on the Mondeo just didn't seem to add up.
Yeah.
When you look at these go with the size of the car, and they're only around the size of the Mondeo, but that just shows. But yeah, I feel comfortable enough. I feel the ride's not too bad as a passenger and that. And
I think the ride will be a bit harsher in the back, but not too harsh.
no, I think with seats like this, I don't think there's much compromise really. I think they're going to be fairly samey, aren't they, with this?
Yeah.
But I like how the instruments are all laid out, nice and chunky dials and things and all that for it. So.
And all the instrument, the light. I've found the lights are on the stalk.
Yeah, I was going to say try stalks or things, but it's fairly well laid out. We've got a lot of obviously blanking switches, so a car like this, I think, will have lots of other options as the levels of trim and everything go up. I find that an odd one. The clock is up there.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a clock that's up here, and it's not being fitted. I think it's all part and parcel to do with this. So
No backlight,
no, the clock which you can barely see, but it's up there, which is, if you wanted to look at it, you're going to glance up there all the time, where you'd expect it to be down here. I find that a little bit... Maybe it's Italian madness, that.
Well, the Peugeot 308.
I got a thing, sir.
Had it all over the top here.
Right. Yeah, it's just
weird.
Yeah. For all this space here and things going on, I thought they could have incorporated something in there, but strange.
Not a bad maneuver for a tuned 1.6 engine.
Yeah.
I actually quite, I quite liked it.
Yeah, I did when the lad came on the road with me. When you the sheer look of surprise and all that, whether I get out, it's purely because I've been dumped in a left-hand drive car and he caned it.
Yeah,
and it was weird. But yeah, pleasantly surprised with this car. Yeah, good little run around.
quite an enjoyable car, really.
Mm.
I did actually quite like it.
I think you would have been taken back when I came tumbling along in it. I think you expected me to get out as well as driving it, and then suddenly the lad got out from the other side.
Nat getting out.
Yeah, and we realised I was in the still in the passenger seat, but on the right. But very strange.
Do you know one of the things I really liked, and it's pointed out in the video as well, in the rear, when you close the rear hatch, there's connectors at the bottom that connect into the body frame.
All right.
And those provide the electrical contact.
Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, because a lot of them will have like a conduit that goes through in a rubber pipe.
Yeah.
And it just wears over time. It wears the cables away.
I can imagine. That's a damn good idea by fear. That
it is.
What were they playing out thinking of something like that? I mean, again, that's off to the lad. He's running the cheapest chips car, and
maintaining it himself. He's had it for years.
Yeah. I mean, how old are we talking for one of them Fiat Puntos? 20-some year old.
Yeah.
Of one of them.
We're going on for 30 years old. For some
it's running fine. It's suiting his needs. Maybe a bit of a boy racer liking it, but he's suiting his needs, as all the vehicles which are shown today are. So, a bit of a January budget buy special.
Yeah. You'd be surprised at what cars are out there for a budget.
Yeah, I think if you've only got a small amount of cash, all's not lost sort of thing. If you're just wanting something to run around in and all that, and you've got a bit of a sensible head on, you can pick some decent vehicles up. Gone are the days now where used cars are really things that you're having to avoid for certain reasons and all that, because the newer cars now are filtering down to the used cars, aren't you? You're getting better deals, you are.
I mean, the Mondeo, you can pick those up for around about £500 now.
Yeah.
Earlier, slightly newer versions of it will be heading upwards, but you can pick them up for around about that amount of money. And the original Mark I Mondeo as well. Which is still a good car.
Yeah. There is a bit more out there for the money now. There really is. It's like I say, you've got a sensible head on and you don't get ripped off. I'd just say, air of caution, if you're not sure about a certain vehicle, get it just well checked over by someone in the know. It's not going to cost you much. Some people, mates, whatever, will do it for free.
Yeah.
And you can't really go wrong nowadays. I think that sort of covers some of those videos that we did.
Yeah, so pretty much covered for this episode.
Yeah, like I say, it's been a bargain basement January one. To be fair, we have needed a bit of a break, haven't we, between, so...
If you have something that you want us to cover, do get in touch.
Yes, because as these videos show, don't be out there thinking, oh, I've got this fairly old car, oh, I don't want them to cover that, because they won't want to. It just shows with these, we'll cover anything. If you like your car and you think you'd like it covered, talked about, whatever, shown to the public, we'll do it for you.
So, that's it for this episode.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything, and I hope you take something away from these videos. It may even spur you on to buy a 75 or another vehicle like a Safira.
And if you want to find out more, do subscribe.
Yep. Well, thanks again for everyone who follows us, likes us, texts a few minutes or whatever just to take a look at any of the videos. It's much appreciated. And I'm sure we'll be back again with episode 6 with more things for you. So it's all to say thanks once again for Malcolm. It's been a pleasure, as always. putting the videos together.
Yeah. Thank you, Martin, for being around and helping out with everything.
Best I can.
Yeah.
Do have one in the pipeline, hopefully. I'll just say that as a teaser, on which I've tried to bag, and I hope it comes off because it's a good teaser. It's, let's say, from a car company which
We have talked about.
and we do like. So we hope that one comes off here because it should be a good video. But for now, that's a bit of a teaser. So I do hope you join us again when we're back. So once again, thank you. Cheers and bye.
Bye.